What's going on YouTube? Chris Ola is back with another video on the channel, and today we're going to be discussing the Arsenal summer transfer window. So it's 9:09 right now, 9:09 p.m. I can safely say all of our transfer window activity has come to an end. There's actually one deal that may or may not be finalized. It's the Tomiyasu deal, but I'll talk about that later. So yeah, let's just start off with the outgoings. We're going to talk about outgoings, talk about the incomings. We'll talk about what I would have done, and then we may as well touch on what other clubs have done and compare Arsenal's transfer activity to theirs. So we start off with Joe Willock. That is our largest sale of the window. We sold it for 26.5 million according to Transfermarkt. I'm not going to keep adding that onto the end of every single deal because we know we're looking at Transfermarkt. Do I think this is a good deal? Not entirely. I agree with us selling him because it was clear that he's not part of our plans. It's clear that we don't want to be using him as a part of a midfield pivot. Number 10 isn't really his role, and we need money. We don't want a bloated squad, and if we can get money for a midfielder that isn't in our plans, then fair enough. I feel like 26 million is a bit low, but man, it's I don't want to say it's better than 20 mil, it's better than 15 mil, because really we should be getting 30, 35 million for a central midfielder that scored 7 goals in a row for a Premier League club that was flirting with relegation and helped them stay up essentially. So I feel like we could have got more, but I'm not gonna criticize the deal too much. Fair enough, you got the money, and it was a pretty swift deal. Torreira going out on loan. Torreira's time at Arsenal hasn't been amazing. It started off well. It started off really well. He looked like the midfielder that we're looking for. That sort of tactically flexible CDM DM anchor that shields the back four, that can pass, and has a passion, that wants to play for the club. But after that short period of time, things just went downhill for him. Wasn't playing in the position that we wanted him to play or that he was comfortable in. Was playing sort of like a second striker, having to press up so high at the pitch. Went on a few loans, has come out and said he doesn't want to be at the club, on and on. It's been such a weird saga. So him going on loan back to Italy, where he clearly wants to be playing, is not bad. There's a loan of 1.35 million fee. Well, there's a loan fee of that much. Hopefully, it's not. Hopefully, the option to buy is exercised, because we don't want him back at the club. It's just wasting more time. Sending players out on loan to X, Y, and Z without selling them tanks their value. So hopefully it works out for him, and hopefully we do sell him, because he's not got a future at this club, unfortunately. Willian terminated his contract, I believe, yesterday. That's fair play. I'm glad we got him off the books. I never would have signed him in the first place, but it's nice that we aren't completely inept. We aren't completely clueless. We took an L and we've moved on from it. Hopefully, we can learn from that, and we can apply that mentality, or that course of action into other dealings, throughout the club, because we seem to take an L and we want to force it to work. We're stubborn. We're a stubborn club. We're a foolish club. And instead of acting as soon as you realise that the L is an L and that it's never going to be rectified, or is going to take a lot to rectify it, you move on from it. That's what big clubs are meant to be doing, not persisting. But Willian, fair enough, he's gone. That's a lot of money off the books. I'm glad. I don't want to see his face again. Guendouzi's gone on loan to Marseille with an option to buy, I do believe, for maybe 10, 15 million. It's in that region of money, give or take pounds and euros. It's a shame. I did like the player. He seemed like when he played, he seemed very fiery. He wanted to play. He was never shy. He always wanted to get on the ball. He's that sort of player who backs his teammates. He seemed pretty intelligent as well. I do recall we're playing Palace. I can't remember the result. I can't remember what the score was at the time. We may have been winning. I'm not sure. But we certainly weren't losing. Zaha, literally would have been last man. This was the latter, or the end of the game pretty much. Guendouzi takes one for the team, takes the yellow card, just rugby tackles Zaha to the ground. We need players with that sort of intelligence. Obviously, in an ideal world, he doesn't even have to make that tackle, but we're not going to be there yet. We don't have enough players that are willing to take one for the team, take a yellow card at the right time when necessary to prevent a counter or something. But, Guendouzi, he won't be the biggest miss in the world, but it would have been nice to see him. He was a young talent, and I hope he does well at Marseille. We got Saliba as well. Honestly, this one's a massive mystery. I'm going to dedicate 5, maybe 10 minutes if it requires me to speak for that long later on his transfer, because I feel like a lot of issues at this club with the squad, just forget management and whatnot, but they boil down to the mismanagement of Saliba. And yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy how one mistake can spiral, can snowball into a series of misfortunate events. So yeah, let's talk about the rest of the players. Dian, I don't know who the hell he is. I've never seen him play in my life. Don't think he's played a senior game for Arsenal. So him going on loan. Oh, it's even a loan. We haven't released him. Fair enough. Hope he smashes it. Reece Nelson on loan. I'm very, very happy he's gone on loan. Eredivisie is actually a good place for him. The quality is decent. Feyenoord, maybe in a Champions League. They're either in the Champions League or in the Europa League. They must be in one of them. In fact, let me just have a look now, just because I'm not entirely sure. So they're fourth at the moment, and if we look at so maybe they're not in. Okay, they're not. Oh, they're not anywhere. My bad. But hopefully he gets loads and loads of minutes and surprises us and does well for himself. David Luiz, we know he left for free. I'd say it's a shame because it would have been nice to keep him, but his legs are gone really. Martin Odegaard, yeah, he's gone. Sebastian's gone. Matt Ryan, I would have kept Matt Ryan, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, depending on the price. I don't actually know how much he went for. Let me have a look. He's gone to Sociedad. Oh no, it's a free transfer, isn't it? So yeah, fair enough. Hopefully he smashes it there because it was decent for us. So let's talk about incomings. Ben White, that's another one. 50 million, I think, is an absolute ridiculous sum for a centre back that we didn't need. But I'll talk more about him at the end. Martin Odegaard, 30 million for him isn't too bad. I feel like, yes, he's a good player. Yes, 30 million is pretty hard to say no, but I felt like we needed goals. Whether or not that was Maddison, whether or not that was another player, we needed goals in midfield. You see, United have got Bruno, and his impact was crazy. I felt like, okay, fair enough, United weren't as bad as us, but they needed an attacking midfielder to come in and score goals for them. And not only has he scored goals, but now Bruno, when he plays, he's getting 2-3 man on him. It's creating space for so many other players. Bruno himself, it's up for debate whether or not he's actually a really good footballer. He's got the ability, but what he does is he causes trouble for defenders. Like anyone that scores goals, anyone that scores loads and loads of goals, yeah, fair enough, he's got loads of penalties, but he still scores goals. He's got decent ball striking technique and whatever. Anyone who's constantly winning games for a team is going to be labelled as the danger man. And once that danger man is labelled, other players are going to start eating. Man, but yeah, we didn't sign a goals player. We didn't sign an output demon. We didn't sign a forward. We've only signed Odegaard, who we had in the previous season. He didn't, moving the needle is what people have been saying a lot. He doesn't move the needle for me, but I'm not going to get onto him. It's a good deal. It's decent value. He's only 22. Hopefully he's adapted and now we see something different because he does help with the build-up and whatnot, but I need some more aggression. I need some more goals. I need some more, I just need some more. I need some more, man. Hopefully he does it. Ramsdale, I'm not going to talk too much on this. I think this deal was pretty poor because 25 million for a backup goalkeeper is completely unnecessary. Goalkeeping is it's one of those positions where, you can. I feel like it's not a position that you need to be spending big on. You can get a goalkeeper for 5 million, and he could be brilliant for you. You can get a goalkeeper for like 40 million, and he can be terrible for you. Like, I don't think it's not a position that is scarce that you need to be spending this big money for. Okay, he's homegrown, he's young, he's had plenty of experience, but I felt like a bit better scouting. That sentence isn't making sense in my head, but better scouting, we could have got someone better. Sam Johnston of West Brom was available for maybe 10 to 15 million. I felt like that would have been a more appropriate deal, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain too much. Lokonga, good signing. 15 million. He's basically replacing Guendouzi. He was a captain at Anderlecht, and hopefully, he's a big leader. Hopefully develops and grows into be a leader at this club, because we are starved of leaders. We're starved of leaders, and yeah, no, I can't complain. He's come in, played a few games, and he looks like he can be the real deal, but, the jury's still out on that one. Let's not judge him or overrate him too quickly. Let's let him play his football and continue to develop. We got Tavares. We needed a backup left back. I'm not complaining too much about him. Only 7 million. That is nothing for a club that needs to be getting back and needed a backup left back. What else? Yeah, he's going to be playing quite a lot, because Tierney, that guy's injury record is pretty dodgy, man. He's so jarring that we've got one of our best players always always in hospital. We got Partey as well, always on the injury bench, or whatever you want to call it. It's like Arsenal Football Club, man. But yeah, and then Balogun, he got promoted. Kolasinac, don't know why, still at the club, and last three all loans. We know about that. So yeah, let me touch on Saliba real quick, because I felt like our summer window would have been so much better if we sorted out this situation properly. You see, we signed Saliba in 2019-2020 season, and we sent him out on loan. That is fine. 27 million, is quite a lot for an 18-year-old centre-back who not many people have watched, who is touted to be, the Mbappe of centre-backs and whatnot. But yeah, fair enough. Sending him on loan is good. He was injured for a bit on loan, I do believe. He played maybe less than half of a season, and of course COVID messed that up. That's fair enough. He came back to this club. We signed Gabriel. Gabriel didn't have that much experience, but played more and didn't have that injury problem that Saliba did. But what we should have done is made our decision quickly. Are we going to send him on loan again so that he can have a whole season of, top flight football, whether it be in the Championship, the Premier League, or France? And if you send him on loan, he can come back, he's ready. Or are we going to keep him at the club and register him everywhere so that he can get his minutes? Not just under 23. The Europa League is a different type of test. It's minutes at the end of the day, and minutes are the only way you're going to develop into the player that you want to be. But we messed that up. We didn't send him on loan, and we didn't register him. He's playing under 23s now and again, but under 23s football and senior football, completely different. They're completely different levels, so we can't really, it's not helpful to him. And then January, we decided to send him on loan, which is calm. Like, I wasn't happy with him going on loan, don't get me wrong, but for us to send him out on loan in January, fair enough. 20 games, he played, 20 games in a row for Nice. He played, I think he played every minute since he went out there. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he did. So that's good. That's good for his development. Okay, this summer window, there's noise that he's going to get a chance. People are apprehensive just because how we've handled his situation before, but there's noise he's going to get his chance. He's going to get a pre-season, blah, blah, blah. He's in his plans. Oh, he's on loan to Marseille. Like, it's annoying. Arsenal fans watch Holding, watch Mari, watch Mustafi, watch Xhaka at centre-back, watched... Who else? I can't remember. Watch Kolasinac at centre-back. But Saliba's not... Tammy, no. So Arsenal fans, yeah, we've seen those sort of players play at centre-back, fill in as centre-back, have minutes that they shouldn't be having at Arsenal in the last season, and it's Saliba who we're supposed to believe isn't ready. Like, fair enough, I understand protecting him. He's gone through stuff. He's had injuries. He's not had the correct development or the appropriate development for us to, to chuck him in. But I feel like he's pretty mad. And then, yeah, this season he's gone on loan again. We've decided to spend 50 million on Ben White. You see, Ben White, I don't hate the guy. Don't get me wrong. It's not his fault that we signed him for 50 million. It's Vinay's, Mikel's, Edu's, and that Richard Garlick guy. Those are the 4 people we should be holding accountable for this poor transfer window. But 50 million on him is unjustified. When we are struggling for goals, we don't create clear-cut chances. You see, if I was in charge, and I'm going to talk about a transfer window that I would have been happy or would have felt was realistic, we would have we need to sort out priorities. Our priorities is goals and chance creation. We brought in Odegaard, but Odegaard doesn't work. It doesn't work seamlessly. Okay, seamless is a pretty massive word. Like, I shouldn't be, he's only just got here, but he works terribly with Saka. As soon as Odegaard came in, Saka's numbers dried up. Saka's performances just got worse. Maybe a coincidence because Saka's just, getting burnt out, and, they're both good footballers. I guess good coaching can make them both work, but I don't trust Mikel to do that. That's another story. But man, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Ben White is also 5'11", Saliba 6'4". Saliba's not great in the air, but he's not terrible. He's not woeful. He's not Ben White. Ben White is very, very bad in the air. Defensively, one-on-one defending, it remains to be seen whether or not he can be improved a lot. There's still work to do and whatnot. But Saliba's played more top-flight games than this guy. Fair enough. The Premier League and League One are 2 completely different leagues, but Saliba still played more top-flight football than this guy. Gabriel came in not having much more experience than Saliba. What's going on? Things are not clicking. Things are not adding up. It's just annoying, but yeah, let's talk about what I would have done. So I would have addressed the goals issue. We don't have a wide, proper creative demon or proper output machine. Our striker's an issue. So if possible, if I could have sold Lacazette, he's gone. I'm accepting almost anything. I felt like we're in a position where a lot of our players are on short contracts. They've got 1 year, half a year. They got no time left on their contract, and we're just going to have to take the L. But in taking these L's, we need to learn from them. Don't let a player get to 2 years without you having a plan for him. If he gets to 2 years, not one, what the hell? If he gets to 2 years, not one, if he gets to 2, he's either gone or he should be renewing. If he decides not to renew for reasons because we're not keeping him in the squad, he's unhappy and whatnot, then we should be looking to transfer listing, get him out. You shouldn't be doing that at 1 year or when he's approaching 1 year. It doesn't make sense. So, why did I even say that? Why was I mentioning that? Oh, yeah, because Xhaka, we were unable to sell him for more than 20 million because he had a year left on his contract. And, I don't blame Roma for lowballing because you can get the guy for free next year if he really wants to come. The only club that loses out is the club that he's going to lose him for free. The player doesn't lose out because they still get their money. They're still getting minutes and whatever, and then they get to go to wherever they want to go for free. And the club that want to pick him up for free don't have to pay that fee. So, Xhaka, that's one. Would I have sold him? Not really, not for that price, because he doesn't stop us from getting another central midfielder. Lacazette, I wouldn't like all these. Man, even my head's on Mars, man. I'm smiling, but really, there's so much rubbish going on in my head. So, like I said, I would have sold Lacazette. Aubameyang, I possibly would have listened to offers. The thing is, I don't think I'm just thinking. Let's say I'm the director of football, not the manager, because the way we're playing, I would not be playing like this. But let's say I'm the director of football. Yeah, Aubameyang, I'll be listening to offers for, because he clearly doesn't fit Arteta's way of playing. He can't hold up. He's not a false nine. He can't dribble. We're sometimes playing him on the left, sometimes playing him at striker. It's clear we don't know where his best position is. So I would definitely listen to offers. Lacazette would be gone. Um, Emil Smith Rowe can stay. Odegaard can, yeah, fair enough, whatever. Saka, Pepe, that's fine. Competition for the right. Central midfield options. Yeah, Xhaka. I wouldn't want to sell him for 20 million unless if 20 million is what we're going to take and we can get Bruno for 30 million, then I'm taking it. And if we did sell Xhaka, Bissouma's right there for less than 40 million. Going to Brighton and spending 50 million on White when Bissouma's right there, and he started the season brilliantly. He was on his knees to join us. We want players at the club that want to play for us and that are going to elevate our level. I would have taken Bruno. So Bissouma, Bruno, Guimaraes, Partey, and Lokonga's 4 midfield options. I think that is brilliant. That is brilliant. We've got progression in Partey and Bruno. We've got a rocking Partey and Bissouma, and Lokonga can learn off all 3 of them. So, I felt like that would have been a way better midfield solution. That would have been a way better solution to our midfield problems, even though I don't feel midfield is our issue. So right back, we've got an issue. We've been linked to right backs throughout the whole window. We all know that we need a right back, but Ainsley Maitland-Niles is right there and has stated that he wants to play at right back this season. I don't know if that's true. I don't know how credible the Athletic is, but he said that, he's stated it, and you've got to give the guy an ultimatum. If you don't want him to play at the club at central midfield, you tell him right back, or we list you and you go to somewhere that you can play. We loaned him out to West Brom. I'm hearing that we rejected Leicester and Southampton because we didn't want to be strengthening rivals or something stupid like that. But if Ainsley Maitland-Niles has told us that he wants to be a right back, play him right back because he's the best right back that we have at the club. Chambers isn't a right back. Cedric is woeful. Bellerin, I don't know what's going on with him. That injury seems to have just completely finished him. But he's gone on loan now. So why on earth are we playing Ainsley Maitland-Niles in any other position that's not right back? Okay, centre back, like I've already made myself clear. With the Klepsaliva, we've got Gabriel. Chambers I'd be using as a right centre back, deputising to Saliba, and then Mari deputising to Gabriel. Mari's probably the only one that I don't rate out of those 4 there. Holding I don't rate. I would have flogged him ages ago. But yeah, like that would have been fine. That would have been fine. Fair enough. There's not leaders at the back. There's not mad experience, but you'd like to think with Partey there, with Leno, Gabriel's already had a season already, and White. The fact that we signed White, he's only 23, so he's 2 years younger than Saliba, and we're trusting him like that. We're trusting him with the defence, but Saliba doesn't, deserve a chance. That's a load of rubbish to me. But yeah, Tierney at left back with Nuno behind him. I'm fine with Nuno. Leno, I would have gone for Johnston because he's way cheaper. We don't need to be splashing 25 million on a goalkeeper. And then the goals, like I said, we've got an extra, let's say 50 to 60 million to spend on either a striker. That's without player sales, by the way. Without the extra player sales. I'm only including the ones that we've actually made. But a left winger, a goal scoring left winger, a proper 1v1 specialist. I'm not saying Zaha, I'm not saying Mahrez, I'm not saying we should go for those players, but we should be looking at that sort of profile. Someone who's always going to beat his man. Someone who's going to have 2 men on him, create space for the other players. Someone who's going to guarantee us 10 goals minimum a season out wide. And then a striker, 20 goals a season, strikers are not easy to come by. A striker who can play false 9, who has the physicality to get into the box when needed, who is dominant in the air. Yeah, maybe I'm asking for a lot of things, but I'm not paid millions. Why is my sister making noise? I'm not paid millions. These guys are paid millions to scout properly, to fix the problem, and we've gone backwards. We spent 130 million and we've gone backwards. That is a disgrace. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that Tomiyasu guy because I actually have no idea what's going on with him. I hope we don't sign him because I feel like Ainsley is right there, and we just don't need to be spending 20 million on a guy who is only going to be playing inverted. He's not going to be bombing up the right hand side. He is not a right back. He's 6'2" for goodness sake. Like, okay, I've not watched the guy, so let me not talk too much. But man, I don't know. But yeah, that's enough of the Arsenal transfer window. I would rate that a very solid 4 out of 10 max. Just because these players are young and they might have potential. They got a lot of upside. They got a lot of resale value. You know, we've spent money, but we've not allocated the resources properly. I feel like the next coach to come in, because Mikel is going to get sacked soon, man. He has to get sacked. I don't know if it's going to be in a few months or at the end of the season, but he needs to get sacked. Whoever comes in, he's going to have a very, very young squad, and you'll have decent tools to work with. So it's not as bad a window as people are making out to be, but it's still bad. Like, some people think it's the end of the world. It's not. We should be fine this season, depending on what our targets are. But man, okay, I'm waffling. But yeah, let's talk about other windows. Let's talk about City. They've only signed Grealish. I don't know what's going on over there, but they've already won. They won the league comfortably last season without a striker. Would have been nice to see them get a striker, but they didn't. Grealish looks like it is, and fair enough to them. United, brilliant business this summer. Sancho, Varane, very, very necessary. Ronaldo, unnecessary, but they had to stop City from getting him. They were a DM away from one of their better windows, so I'm glad they didn't get that DM. Chelsea, they signed Lukaku, they signed Sal on loan. I believe that's it. I felt like they wanted a centre back, and a centre back would have been tough. I don't know what their plans are in regards to transition into a 4 at the back, whether or not they're going to stick with a 3 at the back. But that's Chelsea's issue, not mine. I don't really know. I'm just glad they didn't get a centre back, because Lukaku and Sal, as it is a lot, man. And we can't compete with that because we're just terrible and we haven't got the good coach that we need, that they have. Who else is there? Spurs, good business. Emerson, they got Nuno in. They signed Romero, who's not too bad. He probably will take a bit of time to get used to the league and whatnot. I don't know who else they've signed, but they've seemed to have sorted out a few issues. They've kept Kane, so yeah, they've definitely got a better squad than us, which is just crazy. And Liverpool, they signed one player and that's it. But I feel like Liverpool, they're only missing depth. They're missing depth. Okay, maybe midfield, they would like some creativity, but I don't think it's super necessary. Like, I still think they've got the best starting 11 in the Premier League, so they'll be fine. And other deals, Leicester have gone pretty crazy. They signed Sumare ages ago. They signed Lookman. They signed Vestergaard. We've got Aston Villa. They signed Ings. They signed Leon Bailey. They signed Emi Buendia. Who else is there? There's loads. The Premier League. The Premier League is the biggest league in the world, and in terms of money, all the money's there. So that's why loads of Premier League clubs are spending bears. And then let's talk about PSG. I don't know whether Mbappe's leaving. He probably isn't. They signed Messi. Got my PSG jersey here, and I got Messi on the back. Yeah, there we go. That's the goat. But yeah, they signed Hakimi as well. Who else did they sign? Wijnaldum, Ramos. They're building a super team there. Who else did it? They signed some Nuno Mendes earlier today, a left back, very, very exciting left back. So if PSG don't win the Champions League, that's going to be failure for them after the amount of they've not even spent money, but the amount of superstars they got on that team. Don't forget Donnarumma as well. And honestly, I don't really care for any more business because Arsenal have disappointed me yet again. Actually, no, they haven't disappointed me. My expectations were low, but no, that's crazy. My expectations were low, yet they've disappointed me. Isn't that mad? But I'm waffling now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and crop it as much as possible because I have waffled for 30 minutes. I have waffled for 30 minutes, and yeah, it's going to take me for ages to sift through this video. Imagine I recorded for 30 minutes, talked for 30 minutes. It's going to take me at least double the time to edit it, crop it, and whatnot. But I hope you guys enjoy again. Smash a like, drop a comment. What do you make of this Arsenal transfer window and your club's transfer windows? If you're still here, of course. And I'll see you in my next video.